now. The ones you do it into. Yo, please die, nigga. Do not subscribe to YouTube. Put your lights on. Let's go. You wanna talk about it? You wanna talk about it? Let's talk about it. I see you walking, y'all. Let's go. Staff out. Let's talk about it. We all on check. DKP and girl EG. We live in the place to be. From snowbiz to showbiz. Slip up here, we most likely talk about your biz. You heard me? That's what the word be. We bout that. You wanna talk about something different than we reroute that. You wanna talk about it? Then let's talk about it. You wanna talk about it? Then let's talk about it. You want all about speaking the truth. That's just give us your opinion. We distinguish the truth. You wanna talk about it? Let's talk about it. If it's sloppy, then we in your biz. It's most likely we talk about your shit. You wanna talk about it? Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. All that Hollywood BS, we don't stunt. We gon' put your ass right on front. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. You wanna talk about it? Let's talk about it. You wanna talk about it? Let's talk about it.
Because Mama P, that's I mean
Nah, because that's not my name.
That's what I see.
My name is Mama Kim. You got it all fucked up.
Oh shit.
Mama Kim.
Mama Kim.
I don't want to act out right now. You know what I'm saying?
I just feel like I need to do something for my fucking hair since I took my braids out that I be having when I put my wigs on. So I was just like, but this be pissing me off because I cannot sit here all day and try to flatten my fucking hair. Like, who the fuck has time for that bullshit? This shit is hard. I don't fucking have time. Nobody wanna sit here and do this shit. This shit is nappy and it won't fucking do right. Why do we keep doing that? Like, it's going this way. Like, no, I'm fucking trying to straighten it down. This shit keep going like, whoop. Like, no, go do. What the fuck?
All right.
I'm gonna give her $40. You go up there, you get the top, bro. If you wanna pop, do what you do. I'm spending this bread on you. It's a good Sunday. Yo, go up to it's a good Sunday. Go to Morningside. I'm gonna give you $40 right now. No. Yo, you gonna top this thing? That's weird.
Not you, but the deal.
How's it? Listen, you got kids and pigs. What are you talking about?
That's why
You don't gotta do that. That's extra money on the side. Do that. Get all good and greasy, and then after that, you stay easy.
Yo,
Listen, you know, nah, bro, you gotta think about it.
I'm doing it with no rhythm. Like a white girl. No. What is it? It's a dance.
She made a new dance.
I made a new dance.
What is it?
It's called the walker.
The walker, like Momo.
Yeah, like the walker. Like
know? Right now I'm too smart. I can't do it right.
Because I used to have a dance.
Yeah, see, you
No,
got
no. And then maybe if you move it into somehow my old shit that I did a long time ago, because it's old shit too. I don't know what it was called, but my back hurt a little bit.
Okay.
The back was
So it
The
was
back
like,
with the
look,
walker.
it was-
Oh, okay.
I don't know
Okay.
why, but
Okay.
I had
Okay.
it hurt,
Okay.
and I may have had gout
Okay.
in this side of my neck.
So,
Old
okay.
as shit.
Yeah.
Your back hurt.
I
I
don't.
don't come in with the back hurting. Come on, let me see that.
Let me
I'm
try
gonna come do
something.
this tomorrow.
Or maybe if it hurts, and then you,
Oh,
and then it hurts.
Yeah. See, and then you go like
you
that.
gotta roll
Ow,
into it.
hey.
So rolling.
You gotta plant it, and then you gotta roll into it.
So them two tennis
Yeah, there we
balls
go.
go
You-
There
down.
you
I
go.
felt
There
it.
you
Yeah,
go.
you gotta roll into
So
it.
when the tennis balls hit the floor,
Yeah, you gotta.
Boom.
then you can hit it, and then
Oh,
it hurts.
here. Oh, it hurts. You know? So, see?
I don't know, but
What do you buy?
I just feel like they both are old as fuck.
Yeah.
Regardless,
They gonna love it.
It's new shit.
So I was doing it
It's new shit.
upstairs, and they
It's
was
new
like,
shit.
"What's that?" I was like, "The walker."
No accident. It's the result of decades of racist federal policy. In the 1930s, as part of the New Deal, FDR created loan programs to help Americans finance their homes. But to decide who got those loans, the government created color-coded maps in which green neighborhoods were good and red neighborhoods were bad. This practice became known as redlining. Because of these policies, if you lived in the green neighborhoods, it was super easy to get a home loan. But for folks in the red areas, no loans were available. Those were the neighborhoods where African Americans lived. Early suburb developers instituted explicitly racist policies, and the federal government itself encouraged developers to discriminate. From 1934 through 1968, a whopping 98% of home loans were given to white families. And this advantage compounded over time. White neighborhoods were able to purchase homes and accrue wealth, whereas the people in the red neighborhoods got none of those opportunities. In the green neighborhoods, the influx of new wealth attracted new businesses, which caused property values to go up, which meant white families could sell their homes and send their kids to college, passing down their wealth and advantages to future generations.
My girl E.G., I think she on the way. Oh no, that's Kia in the building. Shout out to House of Hall, I'm in the building, you know what I'm saying? It's Harlem Variety Show. What's good, y'all? It's your boy Kevin Powell, you know what I'm saying? I got my boy J.O. 2. J2, J Squid. There it is. Yes, thank you, Spy. Yes, J Square. There it is. Yo, we was really looking for a name. I think you know what? Yes, thank you. Yes. Yo, J Square. I dubbed it. You know what I'm saying? Hold on, I gotta have the lighter. You know what I'm saying? J Square. How everybody get their name, you know what I'm saying? Morpheus the Grouch. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, yeah, welcome to Harlem Variety Show, you know what I'm saying, where we talk about all the latest things, gossip, news, all these other things, you know what I mean? That's why I was quiet during your show, don't do that. You know what I'm saying? That's how we do things here. But we're going to move on to do different. What's good, J.O.? J Square, that's how we got it, you know what I'm saying?
J Square, ain't shit, man, you know, just regular fire. I'm happy.
It's your boy HooterVille.
Friday, you know. Gonna make it.
I'm about to get you, nigga. Come on, stop playing.
I hate being late.
Especially
when I'm on time.
HooterVille, what's good, man? HooterVille, what's up, man?
I'm not. I think it's best that you come late.
You'll say that. You know what? Look. I was giving my boy some time. Yeah, I know what I'm doing. What I do, what I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? So that's why they call me the Kevin Powell. Stop playing. You know what I mean? So the Kevin Powell. Understand what I'm saying? T-A-G-E. You had an extra one. That's how you got to say it. But anyway, you know what I'm saying? I was going to properly introduce you because I was saying, what's good, my boy HooterVille? What's poppin'? You know what I'm saying?
What?
You know what I'm saying? Now, of course, I'm going to introduce a good, very good friend of mine. You know what I'm saying? Should I? Yeah. Matter of fact, no. Yeah, Sugar Johnson in the building. Give it up for me, y'all, real quick. Hey, Sugar in the building. What we doing? Peace and chicken. Comedian. I'm like, what's gonna happen? And poet and musician and sometimes teacher and
Renaissance
all
man.
of those things.
Renaissance man.
Yes, the classic man. What's good though? What's happening?
It's fantastic. I'm visiting from the wonderful state of Georgia, and you know it's been a while since I've been home. No, I'm just checking.
Yeah.
So
I was gonna say
everything is love. I'm doing a show tomorrow, God willing. That'll be Saturday at the Langston Hughes house.
Look right there.
I'm singing.
Yeah, there you go.
Did I mention I'm singing? I'm singing. Yeah, word. Like, all right, are you ready? Summertime and the living is easy. I can't get it to you. I can't get everything. You can't get everything.
Cause it kick on fire, you know what I'm saying? Sugar Johnson.
Yes, Lord. Yes, Father. Yes. The smoking on the new one. That's what we do.
Anyway, yeah. So, just a little bit about yourself. What you know what I'm saying? And I know you do. Like you said, you do the comedy. You know what I'm saying?
I do a little comedy. I started out doing poetry, actually here in Ireland, and at Jimmy's. Yeah, take y'all back a little bit. Anyway,
you run some old niggas. Sorry.
Yeah, you know. So I started doing that. You know what I mean? Singing in church. You know how that goes. Mama always got you in church. I guess by trade, I'm a mathematician. Yeah. But, you know, I gotta have a little fun, spread it out, enjoy myself. So the show tomorrow is really about me, just me and the mic. And whatever happens. Nothing crazy, you know, nothing out of the box. We are at the Langston Hughes house. Did I mention it's at the Langston Hughes house?
Where you from?
I'm from Brooklyn.
Okay.
I'm from Brooklyn. Yeah. But I'm in Harlem giving love because love is always given to me. What's your God for?
I'm gonna tell you a little story, right? See, all right, we met through a job that we had, you know what I'm saying? We working with the criminal kids and all that stuff and things, you know what I'm saying? And it was cool, you know what I'm saying? How we met up, it was kind of like a Red and Meth moment, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
it was.
Kind of like
it was like that.
Kind of like a.
I remember that.
Gotten. Let's go. You know what I'm saying? And you know how you meet people through other people, and then you wind up being cooler than the people that you met with.
Yeah,
that's how
it be like that.
That's how things kind of went. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it ain't no under the belt shit. It ain't no under. It was a little shade. That was a little shade I was throwing. You know what I'm saying? But cool. How long you been doing comedy?
Well, I guess proper, I say like 3 to 5 years on and off.
Right.
You know. Doing some open mics, doing just, you know, different stuff like that. I did a couple one-man shows, so that's been amazing. And what I like is that it allows me to work on the craft. You know what I mean? Because, you know, comedy is an art and a science.
Word up.
You know what I mean? And we watch it, and we think, yo, that's easy. I could get on stage and be like, so yesterday, you know what I'm saying? You know, you get stuck.
Yeah,
you know?
I've been thinking about some shit, and you know, you get in the shower and shit. Yo, that would be dumb funny, and then when you say it again, it be like, it wasn't that funny. Fuck that shit. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, definitely got work. You know what I'm saying? I'm definitely proud of you, man, saying like, cause you know what I'm saying, you somebody that I see that you following your dreams, you're doing what you gotta do, you know what I'm saying? And you still, you know what I'm saying, within the art. Sometimes we get caught up, you know what I'm saying, by living our regular lives and then be like, well, I used to want to do this or whatever, but you don't never let that stop you, and you let things inspire you to keep on doing what you're doing. And that's why I'm glad you came on the show, you know what I'm saying, and you with us now, you know what I'm saying? So, E.G., I don't know where you at. Maybe you on your way, maybe you walking up these steps in a few minutes, but you know what I'm saying? I don't know where you at. You need to get your ass over here. But we got J Square, you know what I'm saying, in the building, you know what I'm saying? I feel comfortable. You know what I'm saying?
Straight up. That's me and
my name's Sugar Johnson. I'm from Brooklyn, New York, and no, I'm not trying to call myself Sweet Penis. It's just my mother calls me Sugar, and you know what I'm saying? But I haven't had any complaints, praise God.
Death ain't nothing but peaceful sleep. They say the good die young, the evil creep. They say the hood got guns more than police. So why it ain't more cop shirts with rest in peace? Just a nigga nephew or his little niece. Damn, hit from a stray from thugs in the street. A beautiful day can turn ugly sheets. Families in huddles with puddles running down their cheeks. They say in every tear there's a blessing. The dead become your peers when you stressing. When niggas come to air you with them weapons, your guardian angels, your spiritual protection. They say an atheist might disagree. Ain't no guardian angels, nigga, that was 93. Them punk faggots with them red jackets on the A train. Keep slipping, catch a spray in your brain, nigga.
Yo! Yeah, I wasn't ready.
Been ready, like, hello.
What's good, y'all? It's your boy D. Kevin Powell.
And it's your girl E.G.
You know what I'm saying?
What's up?
You know what I'm saying?
Hello.
Hold
I
on.
wasn't done.
No. Hold on, because I got you. It's my boy HooterVille in the building. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Hold on.
Like, he gotta let me finish. You feel me?
No, because he got all mad with me last time when I didn't do nothing. You know what I'm saying? Hold on. Got my girl Nina, AKA Big Eye Diva. You know what I'm saying?
That's not what it is. You see? You messing up. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
You got in the accident.
I sure did, but it's all right. Let's go. Keep going.
Right.
What you mean?
What?
Come on, you supposed to.
Nina, the Big Eye Diva, grab the Nina, squeeze her.
Anyway.
What's her name? How to do my shit. Yeah, what's her name? I'm sorry, Jasmine. In the building.
Jazz or Jasmine?
Jazz. Yeah, Jazz about the rest today. That's Nina Peoples, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we in the building, you feel me? I'm not the only, you know.
Oh, see, she just wanted to step out in front.
In here, so. But yeah, we here, guys. Happy Friday. Shout out to everybody as a coming home from work, or you know, you just getting in the house.
Yeah, we gonna get
you feel me? Like a long day, traffic, watching this. Shout out to everyone. Remember, you can hit us up in the live chat too, or you can also call us up. 77. How was your week?
I'm chilling. What's good with you? How was your week? Everything was
my
good?
Week was
Alright, she ain't really getting into, you know what I'm saying? Like,
my week
she
was
being
cool.
real.
You know, normal shit, just, you know, just having fun. How was your week?
My joint was good, you know what I'm saying? I can't
Same
complain. Same thing. Grinding on doing what I gotta do. And trying to, well, yeah, I guess you could call it getting to that bag. That's all good. But
Yes,
today we got a good show. We're going to have a real good show for y'all. One of the things that why we call it Harlem Variety Show is because we have a variety of different things. You know what I'm saying? We got a whole thing going. We talk about topics and political news and things. But one of the things also we have been talking about for a while is health. You know what I'm saying? The mind, the body, and the soul. You know what I'm saying? Like ways of taking care of yourself
and staying healthy,
and things that we thrive on, and even sponsored by, in the product, Bionic Tonic. That's what I'm saying. I was waiting for him to say it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So, but we have some special people here. We gonna, you know what I'm saying? We talked to young brother earlier. Was that last week? Yeah, last week.
I wasn't here, by the way.
Yeah, you. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about that. Yes.
Did actually we spoke on the phone? Yes, I was here. So that was the week before.
Okay. I had my espresso.
Anyways, yes, I wasn't here last week because I was. Fine. I attempted to get ready, but yeah, gentlemen.
Oh wait, I'm sorry. You didn't ask me what I was going on. Well, you said how was my job and all that. I just had a life thing that just happened to me. Really feeling it now because I was in shock and I see it flashing my eyes. Come up my bike, up, smashed into. Oh, I didn't tell you. I really didn't tell you. I got into an accident. Yeah. I'm off.
I'm just. Thank you.
So, because I'm not gonna say Nina Squeak. That would be a.
But normally you do, so that's not the norm. So
you know what?
We just making sure, you know, it's not bro. I gotta make sure he good.
You know what?
But you good though, right?
Yes, I'm good. I'm good. My bike is a little toe up right now. You know what I'm saying?
Run?
It runs, but it's kind of clanking a little bit. You know what I'm saying? But anyway.
Right. So moving on.
Yeah, but yeah, good. I was giving y'all time to set up, making sure y'all was right. I see set the hair. You know what I'm saying? So, but
shout out to Wismore live chat.
And everybody remember to subscribe to Harlem Variety Show. Like, share, subscribe, leave comments. But like I said, we have some special guests.
You feel me? You know I'm here. What's up? You know what time it is.
We have some special guests here. All the way from Texas. That's what I'm saying. We're in Texas. Okay. All right. Well, no further ado. We're gonna switch it off to them, right?
Hold on.
No. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Right,
I got. You know what I'm saying?
You know we can.
We are on screen right now.
On
Yeah.
screen.
That's right.
Okay.
Get together. You know what I'm saying?
You know.
We just shared one.
Oh, I smell it in the air.
I
smell it in the air.
Okay, I look forward to it.
No, we can get it. We can get it popping. Yeah.
I'm with it.
Okay, we.
But yeah, Wismore, you know I'm here. You know I'm in the building.
But I'm very glad y'all here. Though.
It ain't a show without Posh.
I want to make sure I'm pronouncing this right. How you saying? You said is it
Mike T?
Mike T. Dr.Kang. And ISIS. All right. Welcome to the show. Please,
yes,
get it right.
Thank you guys for coming. We appreciate you guys for coming.
Now, prior week before, we had a conversation talking about things that you're doing and different products that you had. And yeah, tell us a little bit about it. Tell us about yourself and the product itself, you said. Yes. Oh, quick question, sorry, because there's aloe in this. No aloe. Okay, that's all I got. Yes. Yeah. Bubble up. I don't know what it is. Oh, but I already put a little dab, so that's good.
No, you're good. Don't worry about that.
Okay.
So we all set? We rolling here? Okay. So peace. My name is Mike T. I work for a company called a year. What he to do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, he didn't take any tests. He literally didn't know me. He walked up to me and told me exactly what was wrong with my body. So what I did was I went and I started like researching, like how does this guy have this ability? And then later that night I got an opportunity to sit with him and he started explaining to me. I grew up in the jungles of Africa. I had all of these different things to my disposal and within nature. So he would watch the animals go in and eat and go in, when the animals are sick, he'd watch what they go in and eat to heal themselves. And so his family, he's born into a family of healers, and he was one of the people who had the responsibility of carrying on tradition. So he was allowed to grow and develop his mind when he arrived in America, and he, started taking all of these different tests and trying to figure out who he is. His charts skyrocketed off the chart, so his mental status is a lot higher than most of us because he's done things with his brains that most of us have not done. In terms of what he was able to do, he put me on 3 of his miraculous 5 supplements at the first time I took them. Within a day, I felt better. Within 3 days, I couldn't find the pain that I had in my leg for the last 10 years. I had sports injuries. I couldn't find the pain. Within 7 days, I went for a run to try out my body. I felt great, amazing. And 10 days in, I went and played on a basketball tournament with one of my college teammates. When I left the basketball game, after playing a great game, playing well, playing for 40 minutes, I felt great leaving the game. And I walked off the court and I looked to the side and my teammates looked like they were in a car accident. And I was walking off feeling fresh. And I usually don't feel fresh after the basketball games. So at that moment, I decided I'm going to tell everyone. And so I told all my family members, told everyone for about 8 months, and pretty much no one followed through and called. I went and ran into a lady who teaches nutrition at a university level. She has all of this wealth of information, and I explained to her what it was. She did the research. She watched the videos. I go back the next day to check on her. She says, I love what y'all are doing. She says, I already ordered my stuff. I've been on the phone with the doctor all day. And I was like, so you mean to tell me I've been telling my family members for 8 months and you ordered within 24 hours and you teach this information? And she says, I don't see anybody else doing what he's doing, so I'm going to go ahead and give it a shot. And so since then, she's introduced us to tons of people, some very serious conditions. We've helped a lot of people in different communities, Orlando, New York, Atlanta, New Orleans, all across the globe. He ships all across the world. We're treating a lot of professional athletes. We're treating a lot of people who have different conditions. If you look on our YouTube, you'll see some of the professional athletes like Mashami Robinson, who's Olympic gold medalist. She's one of the clients that we have. She recently was having troubles breaking through on her training, and since then she's broken through on her training, and we're looking forward to 2020, the Olympics in Tokyo.
Now, not to sound like an infomercial, right?
Yeah.
What makes this product different from
from my experience is, number one, Dr. Kang knows what the human body needs. He studied it, he's mastered it, he knows exactly what it needs. There's nothing in here that your body doesn't need. Number two, it's 100% all natural herbs. So he knows the herbs that heal the body. So a lot of times you go to these other companies and they do not have 100% all natural herbs. They have some combination of natural and synthetic or whatever. Yeah. Number three, Dr. Kang's theory on how to heal the body is different than anyone's theory that I've ever experienced. So it's a theory that if you give the body 1 to 32 herbs, the body will recognize it as food. But if you give the body 33 herbs or more, the body will recognize it as medicine. And so all of these formulas have over 33 herbs in them, including the super cleanse that has like 115 herbs or more in it. And those things, each herb has a job to do, and he knows what the job is, and it goes and does its job. So even things like heavy metal build up in the body, he has herbs in there that will go in there, and it will take the heavy metal that's stuck in your system, sitting there, dormant, and it will drag it right into your digestive system, and then you'll pass it out, and that metal's no longer into your system.
So what about, like, for example, heartburn?
Easy fix. Next.
Like one that's just constantly, like, when you eat
we can. That's diet related issues. You're creating it yourself, and you're suffering because you haven't changed your diet. Those you could fix that by yourself. Yeah. But there's also certain people who have that as a condition that may need some additional help, and that's why we're here. So there's certain diseases or ailments or things that people are doing that if most people, because a lot of people come up with the issue of money, how much does something cost? Okay, so for most people, if you listen to us, we were literally teaching you how to fix your issue, and if you follow through, with a lot of information, you can be well. But if you want the easy button, if you really want to fix your issue, if you really want to not be sick, press the easy button. This comes to your door. You start taking it. You start getting better. Your body feels well. You feel whole. You start thinking different. You start making better decisions. You start eating better. And then you change your world, change your community, change your household.
So now this is basically for something when you're ready to change.
Because in some cases I know where people, they want to lose weight.
Yeah.
Or, and things in this. I know that's not what you selling. But
if you don't want to change, it's okay if you don't want to change. If you're going to stay exactly the way you are, stay the way you are. But take this. At least we know you're not going to fall out and pass out. At least we know you got the right nutrients in your system. At least we know you're not going to suffer aimlessly for no reason while we're sitting here with the solution. So if you're not going to change, you can still take our product. It will still help you. It will still give you those same benefits. Your body will still begin to heal. Now, if you're healing and damaging yourself at the same time, those are. But
that was right on point.
Yeah. But you'll still heal. You'll still heal. You're just slowing down our process. Yeah. Now, if you stop damaging yourself while we're healing, our healing begins to take effect immediately, and you start feeling better within 24 hours. And for most of the people that I've introduced the product to, they felt something the next day. 30 days later, they couldn't believe what they felt.
So now is it you get a certain thing for a certain feeling?
So
my knees hurt. Let me get
you know what I'm saying? Like, yes.
Formulator.
Yeah.
Develop over 2,000 something formulas. And you ask the question, what makes our formulas different? This is a science that's been lost. My grandfather was a shaman. He was a man who never ate anything a day in his life that was cooked. You climb up the mango tree and eat it direct. You climb up the coconut tree and eat it direct. So grandfather says if you eat like this, you catch the first and second life. He was considered the wizard in Africa. Presidents, ministers, governors, everyone came from all over the world. If you watch our work, you will call us. I'm maybe one of the most natural doctor that I deal with a lot of. I have thousands and thousands of medical doctors who are my patients or whatever. Even when he met me or whatever, he followed us around even with cameras, and he saw like every single day I'll get like phone calls like from a lot of doctors or whatever. So my great-grandparents talks about a story that before the European came to Africa, and that one of my great-grandparents said they come in for the knowledge. So they started digging holes and started burying some of the books or whatever. So being brought up or whatever in the jungles, I had lions and tigers growing up. And, my grandfather, if he showed him any plant, he knew what it did to the human body. He showed him, you just come to him, he'll tell you what is going on. And so, make a long story short, I was born. He'd be like, you are the one that's going to carry. So even at 3 years old, 2 years old, when animals were sick, I knew exactly what to do. I knew how to take care of them or whatever. But even as I grew up, I was lucky, to be handed a book called The Science on How to Heal the Human Body. And in the science of how to heal the human body, they also talk about the science of compounding. In the science of compounding, they say if you put 1 to 32 herbs together, it's considered food. From 33 and up is considered medicine. Being an alchemist myself, a lot of us, we know about the number 33, the Masonic, the Knights Templar, the Freemasons or whatever. The reason why they use 33 or whatever is because it unlocks the code of the universe. That's what 33 does or whatever. And so this is the science in the body, it's just not any kind of form. So we take the herbs or whatever, it's powdered, it's put in capsules, but we use something called light and sound alchemy to be able to impregnate the herbs or whatever with.
Do you mind if I show
the product?
Yeah.
Yes. You want me to raise it? Okay.
Yeah. For this.
This is like, if you can see, maybe.
And we can post the information.
Yeah.
We can post the link.
Definitely. We're
Oh
gonna
yeah,
post
please,
the link.
Well, give us the information
at
now.
the
It's
bottom.
matter of fact, you gave it to me. www.grandpasecret.com.
Yes, I do remember.
Yeah, and you can also look up some of the information on YouTube. You can go to YouTube, Grandpa Secret Testimonials, and you can pull up a ton of testimonials on people who had their own experiences. This is taking the products, including some of the people that we've helped along the way on our journey. Even coming here, we ran into a guy who was literally about to go have a party, and Dr. Kang pulled him to the side and said something to him. We didn't know what happened, but the guy's testimonial is up there. He came and told us that he was about to have a stroke. Dr. Kang told him what was going to happen. The next day, he went to try to go hang out. He felt those symptoms. He called us back, and luckily for us, we just happened to be headed into his town. We met up with him, got him his medicine, and his testimonial is online. YouTube.com, Grandpa Secret Testimonials. You could also text me. If you text me at 407-745-8642, I'll send you all of our video links. I'll send you links to some of the interesting things that he's been able to do. We have a secret video in some of our chat groups, and it says, can your doctor do this? And we show some of the amazing things that he can do.
You want to tell your story?
Yeah.
I'm gonna ask you that too.
Sure, yeah. I actually had stage 4 breast cancer and kidney problems to the point they were going to take out my left kidney and then put me on dialysis for the other one. They gave me 2 years to live, and I had over 21 different medications I was on, and it caused me to have alopecia. I can actually show you all the picture. Yeah, where's my I can actually show you the picture. I was completely bald. So that's why you saw me. I took off my wrap so y'all can see this is all my hair. This is not, this is not weave. And this
you
is
do not have to weave your hair to grow it.
This was 12 years. 12 years back. Yeah. So let me see.
And they gave her 2 years to live.
If y'all want to see this, I can probably put it in here so y'all can actually see. Can you see it?
Yeah. Show them. Give it to her.
So y'all can see the whole thing. Yeah.
So she was bald, experiencing alopecia on 21 different medications.
And I was overweight. I lost 72 pounds. So y'all can see it yourself.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So if it wasn't for this man right here,
How did you come across
meeting? What's your stories? How you two met?
Yeah, he was speaking actually at one of my events. Then I saw him. We connected. When he met me, when we both met, just strangers. He told me everything that was going on in my body. That was right when they just had diagnosed me. The medical doctors, they diagnosed me, and then he came up to me and said, "Sister, come here for a second." Pulled me to the side and told me everything.
You were dying.
Yeah, he was.
That was the first thing I said.
Yeah, that's what was the first thing.
Yeah.
Like not even knowing me, and at that time you couldn't really tell. Just looking at me like, "Hey, I'm dying." If anything, I just looked.
Have cancer.
Yeah, like I have cancer. He told me.
Like he read
everything,
he
like he was looking up my sheet or something.
Well, that is the same thing that he did with me. And when I met him, he came in with 7 other individuals, and we all met him. I met him that night. The next guy 3 days ago. Next guy 3 months ago. Somebody knew him for 2 years. Somebody knew him for 10 years. And when I talked to everybody individually, and then we came together, I realized we all had the same story. He literally walked up to us, told us we were sick, told us we could fix it ourselves, told us how sick we were, and walked away.
Yeah. And so when I start my day, normally, patients will call me. Even when patients come to my office, they don't have to tell me what's wrong with them. What makes me different from most doctors is that when my patients come, I don't have to do no X-ray, no CAT scan or whatever. Just looking at everyone, I can tell, what is going on within their bodies. And so when you talked about, having acid reflux or whatever, it just simply means your body has a lot of inflammation. It's just inflammation. There's just one cause of disease is inflammation and mucus. That's it. So the human body is not rocket science. If you take a baby bird, a baby cat, a baby rat, even in their baby form, right within their DNA is the knowing on how to heal themselves. When they're sick, they don't go to their mother like, hey, mom, I'm sick. They know how to heal themselves. So the $1 million question is, what happened to me and you? Are we smarter than animals or animals are smarter than us? You see, we become so disconnected. The term nature comes from the word nurture. To nurture ourselves, we have to go to nature. If you look at, what is food? Food is to nourish the body. And so I do a lot of speaking. I've been on tour now for the past few years or whatever, traveling state to state, just trying to bring this message to a lot of our people. And I always tell people that, what is food? To nourish the body. I always ask people the question, have you ever lost anyone? And people are like, oh yeah, I've lost someone. I'm like, why didn't you eat them when they died? They're like, oh, no, you don't eat people, you bury them. Well, a lot of us, we're using our bellies as graveyard. We're eating the chicken, we're eating all the meat. We think human beings by design were designed to eat meat. All of this is propaganda. By design, we're not meat eaters. I know a lot of people argue like, oh, I need my meat. No, we're not. Meat eaters, all meat eaters, I know, all meat eaters, I know. Trust me, this message might hit home. That's why I'm here. This message might hit home to someone. It's not for everyone. All meat eaters have claws. All meat eaters have canine units. All meat eaters have short intestines. All meat eaters have the upper body to be able to hold on to their prey, tear it, and eat it.
And then they eat it raw.
And the reason why we eat meat not because we're meat eaters, we eat it for the seasoning. If I brought raw meat and gave it to every single one of you, even raw chicken or raw fish, no one of you will eat it. The reason you eat it is because we put seasoning, we put salt. But even when you cook it, it becomes a carcinogen. That's why a lot of us, we're walking like zombies because everything that's dead has to be buried. The reason why you don't eat your loved ones when they die is because it's dead.
That's gross.
and so what happens to a lot of us when we eat and digest this thing or whatever, it rottens in our system. Everyone's belly is the size of their fist. But what has happened to a lot of us is that we're eating this much, we're pooping this much. The reason why meat doesn't have any fiber, so it doesn't just come out of your system easy. So the meat you ate today, guess what? 5 years, 6, 7 years from now, it might still be in your system because it gets stuck through the walls of the colon. But we're not taught this thing. A lot of us, we're not reading. We say we're conscious, we're smart or whatever, but we're not looking at nature. If you look at animals in nature, look at the elephant. It doesn't eat any meat or whatever. You can see how big it is. You can look at the cow. You can look at the horse. All of these, they're herbivores. They eat, plant, vegetables or whatever. And the $1 million question is, how are they getting, their protein? No animal drinks another's milk. Only human beings. Human beings, they say they're smart. They're going to tell you, oh, I'm Harvard. Or my grandfather said, do not become an educated fool. An educated fool is one who looks at nature and like, oh, no, God made a mistake. I'm going to change this. And so we pay. And that is why a lot of us, we're paying. A lot of suffering is happening to us because we're constantly wanting to change the rules of God. Right. We didn't make this world or whatever. Every animal, the rat has its food. The bird has its food. If you ask every single one of us, I spoke at Harvard and I asked them the question. These are the most smartest mind. What is the food for humans? You go around with a camera, very few people won't answer this question. Not even one person has been able to answer this question. Every animal has a food for them. The food for humans or whatever, most people don't know, and we say we're living or got it going. If you do not know food and water, what we eat, we become. This is the vessel.
I say that the way you take care of your body now is how it's going to take care of you when you get older.
Yeah.
So, and we just went right past like your story and like you kind of like Cause shot me with that one, and then you went into it, you know what I'm saying? And I just wanted to say, like, you know what I'm saying, 12 years ago, you know what I'm saying, and then now,
Like, yeah, no big deal.
clearly,
right past that, like, yes, I did that some picture here.
So like I'm saying, you know what I'm saying, you kind of got into it, but you know what I'm saying, and that's a life-changing thing. I wanted to give you,
I wanted
you know what I'm saying,
like please, everybody give her a round of applause.
that's truly, and I mean,
your story is amazing.
It's not about blessings, it's like really about taking care of yourself. You know what I'm saying, and having the knowledge,
having the
of
discipline
that, you know what I'm saying?
and the mindset to say, I have to change, I have to, I'm getting older, I have to.
Now.
Right,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
See, that's the thing. Sometimes we wait too long until the things start hurting, and or you get that. Yeah, and it's kind of hard to like bring back the things. We can only fix them. You know what I'm saying, and get them so right.
But that's the other thing. That's a misconception, is because we think that there's a limit to our healing, and that's what we've been seeing with our eyes, is because the doctors are only able to do so much with what's happening to our grandmothers, our aunties. We see they're not getting better. Once they get worse, they're not getting better. They do something extreme to get better. Oh, I went to China, I went to Germany, I went to go have surgery. They have to do something extreme. This, for me, like, it's so simple. It's gonna go over people's heads sometimes. Then I have people literally like that know this information, know I'm walking around with it, and will let me walk into their house, sit in their couch, leave, and then turn around and go outside and have surgery the next week. And when I'm sitting there bringing the solution to their whatever it is that they're dealing with, you know what I'm saying? And I wanted to say one more thing about the meat while he was going in. If you chop a piece of meat and sit it there for 6 hours, what would happen to it?
That's right. What?
The same thing is happening in your system. It takes at least 6 hours for it to pass through your system. So whatever's happening to that meat, that's what's happening to your system. That's why we feel the way that we feel. That's why we get that and then gotta run to the bathroom or whatever. But you still struggling to get it out, and that's what I'm noticing. And since I changed my diet over a year ago, I've noticed that a lot of those issues that I was having, man, and not only are they gone, I can start seeing it on other people. The same struggles that I used to have. Now I don't have those struggles anymore, but I'm like trying to help the people and reach to them. And there's only a couple of things that we got to do, just changing our mind. I have not eaten worse since I stopped eating meat. I've eaten totally better. Even like today, the meal we went to have downtown in Brooklyn, it was an amazing meal. Vegetarian meal, coconut milk, some fresh mushroom, fresh, snap peas and all the vegan. Yeah. Almost. I still ate a little cheese and eggs. Those are my last two things.
So he's vegetarian. We're vegan, basically. Yeah, but he's working his way.
Yeah, even like the protocol. The picture you saw. For example, like her condition or whatever. When I met her, I had to take like very drastic measures because she had 2 years. Time wasn't on her side. Being on 21 medicines. So the protocol was, we put on a 90-day coffee enema. Anyone know what coffee enemas? Anyone know? Enema?
They know enemas.
Okay, you know about enemas. Okay, beautiful. So I give a 90-day coffee enema and then put on a 90-day juice fast. No eating. No eating. When you see animals in nature, when they're sick, they do not eat. Normally, growing up in the jungles of Africa, when animals are sick or whatever, even your dog, they not meet a lot of the carnivores that are not like grass eaters. When they're sick, you're gonna see them go to the yard and eat grass and throw up. This is how nature heals. It heals through a process called purging, because they know that food and water, they're the only extended thing we put internal. So whatever is going on within our bodies, what we put in, so we need to let that out. Or whatever. That's what coffee animals also do. Even like having lions and tigers as pets or whatever, when they were sick or whatever, they'll eat grass, they throw up. When they're severely sick or whatever, they'll dig the earth, they'll lay there.
What exactly is coffee doing?
Well, it removes everything. It stimulates the kidneys, the bowels, it stimulates most of all the organs, so you can eliminate everything that's sitting. This is the central nervous system. This is like the engine of our bodies. If this part is clean, then things like cancer, diseases, blood pressure, you name every single disease originated from here. The reason why it originates from here is because if you eat this much, you poop this much, you eat this much, you poop this much. the amount that is sitting in there, it becomes rotten, like the brother said. It rottens, and then your body starts feeding back on its own physiques. Everything that's rotting in there. As it's rotting, the body begins to pull this into the bloodstream. The kidneys takes it, the liver, every part of the body. Then it sinks into every part of the body, and then it causes it. Like a lot of people, whatever, guess what? A lot of it might get concentrated in the prostate, mucus inflammation. They will call it prostate cancer. If you get a lot of mucus get accumulated in the breast, we call it breast cancer. If it gets accumulated in the brains or in the eyes, they will call it glaucoma or whatever, depending on if it accumulates in the in the areas of the sinus area, then we'll call it like, one has sinus or allergies. It's not, the human body is not rocket science. All we have to do, sometimes people be like, this is too complicated. All you have to do is look at nature. And that's why my theory is called common sense medicine. My grandfather said, don't become an educated fool. Watch nature. So people will come from all over the world, presidents. My grandfather said, hey, see that person had a stroke. See that person is suffering from baldness. He'd be like, you can look at that problem. You can see it also in nature. All you just have to do is pay attention. So when there's drought in nature, there's baldness in human beings, or there's a stroke. The way you can fix it is all the same way. Mineral deficiency and dehydration. That's it. So normally if you, for example, you have to drink a gallon of this water every single day. That's what your body requires. And then you're not drinking it, you're shortchanging yourself. What the body will take is, because the body's consciousness is intelligent, it will take the right amount of water, distribute it to the eyes, distribute it to salivas, distribute it to your intestine, distribute it to your food. It'll be like, what part doesn't need it the most? The hair. It's not an organ that is moving or doing anything. I can shortchange the water from the hair. So we see brothers who have baldness or whatever. It's a chronic dehydration and a mineral deficiency. It is so simple to fix, because if you look at nature, no animal is suffering from baldness. No animal is walking with crutches. No animal has blood pressure, diabetes. They do not have this problem, these ailments. The only animals that might have these problems are the ones we indomesticated, and we're feeding them the synthetic, the artificial, the genetically modified food. Even when you go out, the people be like, what should we eat? My grandfather be like, hey, come on, let's go outside. What do you see most? Greens. That's what you see. You're not going to see anything in nature that's white. You're not going to see anything in nature that's red. Because green is the nectar of the universe. This is the only thing we should be eating. The cows are showing us, the horses. By nature, we are not meat eaters. We're not fish. We're not chicken. We're not. We're none of that. Yeah.
So we going to eat salad every day. So what we going to do? So I'm
you do not have to eat.
How do you feel about this? That's what I wanted to ask you too, about the Beyond Burgers, the plant-based burgers and things of that nature. Do you like? What do you think about those?
We do a vegan potluck throughout the United States. We have maybe like 6 or 7 vegan potlucks.
Okay.
Show people how
we're
going to bring one to New York soon.
We show people how easy it is to transition. There's so many things you can make or whatever. And for me, Beyond Burger, it's a step. Okay. There's so many levels of consciousness or whatever. Some people they're here, some people there or whatever. But it's a way to be able to hold people's hand and show them that there are different alternatives. That the reason why you're eating meat or whatever is just been manipulated or whatever to taste good, and so they're creating this plant-based or whatever to show people how easy it is. I don't have a problem with Beyond Burger. I just don't, or whatever. If that what will serve people, or to hold your hand to be able to transition, then hey, it's very important, because even a lot of these people, they're not doing it as of the money. They've seen the need. They've seen what is happening. Yeah. People eating all this meat. They're talking. The scientists are saying, if you eat a lot of meat, you're going to have the chances of heart diseases, blood pressure, prostate. They're telling you all these things. And, the people, they're still doing the same thing. And they're getting this problem. So
I think we are a lot more conscious of what they are eating. That's not really stopping them. And they say cognitive dissonance. Just knowing it and feel like, let me just get that burger for today. You know what I'm saying? And
we're taking that as our honest, natural approach, that would be okay. But instead, we've been indoctrinated and conditioned for it. Mm-hmm. So it's like taking us as kids. They took us at 5 years old and make us drink milk for the next 12 years. Right. And we then began to think that was normal. Mm-hmm. And so that's not normal.
And then you see the commercials. Milk,
See, a cow doesn't drink a cat's milk. A dog doesn't drink. No animal drinks another's milk. Only stupid human beings. They say they're smart, they drinking another's milk.
And then after infancy too.
And after infancy, every animal stop drinking milk. Only us, even as adults, because guess what? It's a program. We have to understand that we have food scientists, we have masterminds behind the scene, like orchestrating everything, making sure that even our taste buds have been engineered. The things we think we like, the clothes we wear, everything. We've been influenced, we've been manipulated without us knowing. A lot of us, even our thought, we do not own our thought.
I mean, one of the things with me where I don't really fast food, somebody really explained to me, like, all right, burger that, right?
Oh, hold on. Speak. The
of soy. It's very important that we get that straight or whatever. We have the American soy, which is genetically engineered, and then we have the Asian soy. We have to understand Asian people, they've been eating soy for 4,000 or 5,000 years or whatever. So when you eat a lot of the American soy or whatever, the estrogen that is, we can look at the Asians. They've been eating soy forever. I do not have problem with soy, but all I tell our people, like, you have to keep it in moderation. I personally, I don't eat soy, but if I'll eat soy, I'll eat the Asian soy. I'll stay away from the American soy.
Okay.
Yeah, it is totally two different kinds of soy.
Like, what do you think? What is in the actual soy, the bad soy?
Yeah.
Well, it's been.
What, can you tell us how distinguishes like the two, like what makes it?
And I'll let you talk about the difference in the two. But one of the things about soy that I learned was when they were creating soy, George Washington Carver, I believe, helped create soy. He was originally creating soy as a plant that they were going to use to make paint. So they were going to use it to paint things and to use it in markers and to use it in all of these different commercial products. It was never meant for eating. And then it wasn't meant for food. So it was literally used to make all of these different, like a plastic, like textiles, different types of textures of things to create, paintings, art, all of this stuff. But anyway, so that's why I believe the soy isn't really good for us, because it wasn't meant to be for us to eat.
You were saying something.
I asked to distinguish, if he could distinguish the two, like the bad soy, like that. Like, just a little, like maybe like what is in like that makes it like American bad.
When something is genetically modified from its origin, it's not natural. I mean, if I genetically, like a lot of the genetic modified tomatoes, so what they're taking is they take the gene of a fish and then the gene of a tomato, they put it together and then they create a tomato. And the reason is so the back of the tomato, the skin becomes harder. Even like, flies and mosquitoes, they can't penetrate because the skin or whatever. Now they've been taking the gene of the tomato and then the gene of a snake. The goal is to, to isolate the gene of the snake back to make the tomato more soluble. So now you realize, you go to the supermarket, you take the tomato, you leave it there on top of your counter, and for years, months, it's not rotting. I begin to wonder,
what's going on?
It's not rotting. This is the question we must ask ourselves: why isn't? If you take a real tomato, you put it there, within a few days or whatever, it'll stay. Then it'll start, coagulation will take its course. So the reason why the genetically modified things or whatever, sometimes because maybe the insect or pesticides, sometimes I eat those things or whatever. So sometimes it's they're wanting to preserve it. But when they genetically modify things, sometimes they use even insecticides, other harmful things or whatever we can't see. So when we eat it or whatever, we also become genetically engineered. I've been here like, wow. I was telling people, like, a lot of people here, they're almost like mutating. I met a lady, I'm like, you eat a lot of chicken. She's like, that's all I eat. She's like, why? She asked me, like, why? I'm like, yeah, because I can see. No, I see people sometimes, depending on a lot of the things they eat, they start looking. A lot of the genetically, even a lot of chicken, guess what? They pump the growth hormones, to get a bigger breast and then the thigh. You can see a lot of human beings. If you look at the animals, you look at them, you can see right away the correlation. It's not far.
That's why so many of our kids are developing too young, overdeveloped.
The growth hormones in the food. Yeah.
It's very informative. But
Yes, it is. Thank you for everyone in the live too that's commenting. Appreciate it.
Go ahead and send us a question or two. We're gonna answer that question.
Yeah,
We're
if you
gonna
have
look
any
out for you.
questions, this up in the live chat right now, or you could call us up at 646-776-3818. All right, hit us up if you have any questions.
And don't forget, you can YouTube
for Mike T and Dr. Kang.
Yeah.
Or ISIS. Okay, so call us up and we here. You
So
feel me?
now, as far as with the products, do I need all of them, or do I need one, or do I go to Dr. Kang and tell him my problems, or what if I don't have real problems or know about my problems, or I need you to do the superpower thing that you do?
You want to take you outside and then we'll come back in and tell the viewers how well I did?
That's a great idea. Y'all take
you want to take me?
Yeah.
Come on, let's go out.
Yeah, y'all do it. That's a great idea.
Okay, so
let's go. I would like to take you out.
Someone said, Kiki said, yes, should I stop smoking cannabis?
Okay.
Okay, this is a topic that I'm very passionate about, but I don't know who are our viewers.
The smokers.
The smokers are watching.
They're stoners.
I'll tell you what he told me.
Okay. You speak on my behalf.
Yes, I'll tell you what he told me. Okay, so one of the things that I learned about it is he doesn't look at it as it's a threatening herb. It's not bothering anybody. It's an herb. It's just like the other herbs that we use. The problem with it is the actual smoking part. So Dr. Kang has a theory about smoking and a theory about surgery. So he says if God wanted you to be having surgery and getting cut on, he would have put a zipper on you. And if God wanted you to be smoking all the time, he'd put a chimney on you. So just looking at nature, it's not that there's something wrong with cannabis because it has all of these wonderful uses. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of medicinal properties for it. But the problem with it is that most of us are, or most of y'all are out there. Most of y'all are out there partaking in the cannabis, smoking it, which is a problem, but what you're smoking with it or smoking it in is also additional problem.
Right. And you're burning nature.
Yeah, so I hope that helps. Hit me up in the live chat. Let me know if it helps. So, all right. Let me know if that
Oh yeah, there's another thing too. Yes. So there's also like the fact that the herbs that you guys are out here smoking are actually becoming genetically modified.
Right.
So people are literally pouring gasoline and kerosene and all of these different psychotropic things that begin to break down what happens to your brain. That's like how people are getting sick from those, altered fake weed, synthetic weeds, K2 and all of those things. Like that's basically what's happening with the synthetics. And so most of us have no idea where our source is. We're not growing our own food. We're not growing our own. So, we're at the luxury of whoever the hustler is. And sometimes the hustler is, at this point, the people who got the ability to sell it to us.
So for somebody who's at that point where they feel like they want to make that change, right? Okay.
I would like to talk about the marijuana thing, maybe without any recording, because I have a lot of information about that. But I would not like to talk about it maybe online.
Yeah, off camera. Off camera, we'll share some information and y'all can help your viewers.
Yeah, very important.
Yeah, we have a break coming up soon.
Well, no, we gonna run to 10:30.
Okay.
Well, we can take a break.
We started.
Yeah,
matter of fact, we started.
Let's keep going.
Oh, keep going. Yeah.
I mean, we good for right now.
Yeah. Oh, y'all can keep going through with us, and then if y'all want to break after.
But damn, what were you saying?
No.
Oh yeah, you said you were gonna go into.
Yeah. No. Well, Kiki said thank you, and I'm just waiting for more questions. Wismore said, facts on the soy. There is good soy, but the U.S. imports the bad hybrid soy. Right. Facts. Yeah. Then, what else? Some of those, hold on. So those of us in the know avoid food products containing soy by all means necessary. So he's just agreeing.
Okay.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
So yeah, you said you wanted to go a little bit. talk just a little bit.
Yeah, but not
on
Oh,
camera.
okay.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
got
what
it.
I'm
Okay,
saying.
got you,
So
got
we
you,
want
got
to take
you,
a
got
break,
you,
but
got you.
shout out to Kia, Sister Kia, in the live chat too.
Peace,
You
Kia.
feel me?
Oh, but that's where I was at. Somebody who feels as though they're ready to change their life. How do you feel that they should go about it?
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And then adding that into.
Beautiful. For example, the way my grandfather answered this question is like taking a dirty glass. How do you get clean water into it? You wash the glass and you put good stuff. So I'll detox, then start my process. And one thing about, a lot of what I do is term common sense medicine. So Grandpa said, never become an educated fool. Keep things so simple for people or whatever. No animal, your dog is not coming to you like, hey, mister, how many glasses of water should I drink? Right within its DNA is the knowing. When it's hungry, it knows. Only human beings will ask the question, what should I do for this? Common sense thing. When should I eat? How many food should I eat? All of these things or whatever. It shows how backward
Now,
we've become.
I got caught up in doing this. People were doing it at my job too. This whole thing with the lemon water.
Yeah.
Is that a good thing? Because I hear some people say that it's not too good for you. Is that it?
Well, lemon is acidic.
Yeah,
It's acidic by nature, but when you put it in water, you drink it, once in your system, it becomes alkaline. It is tested, it's scientifically tested or whatever. Even when the people pee, we can test their pH. And we've done that so many times, so whatever. But why is there most of the time once you drink it, or why it's sitting there after you mix it up, you test it, it's normally acidic. Once it gets in the body, it becomes alkaline. And the way you know is by testing the pH become higher, alkaline in nature. So it's good.
Okay, so it's good for you.
Yeah, it's good.
All right.
It's not.
Yeah.
All right.
So you good.
Lemon
Happy with the lemon.
lemon has been used or whatever. It also helps to regulate, cholesterol and to remove, extra fat.
And I believe the lime can create alkaline water.
Yeah. Yes. People use
the lime.
it. Yeah.
Yes, the lemon.
Yes, the lime. Yeah, I'm not sure how long you leave it.
Both. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I heard the lemon just made it first. What, is it soy? No, what's your question? What's your question? Yeah, no, ask your question. What's up, brother? No, what's your question?
You want to ask, bro?
You know my guy.
What's real, what's fake?
What's real, what's fake?
Yes.
Are you talking about something about health?
The food.
Food?
The food.
Oh, okay.
He want to know what's real and what's fake. Well, I'll say that nature right now, if you nature.
I'm right to speak, right?
Yeah.
Please do.
Yeah.
Please do.
So what's wrong?
With the modifying? Okay. So what's wrong is when you're, and I'm not calling it wrong, I'm just telling you where the challenges are. When you try to combine something that doesn't belong together, right? So let's say it's life, but are you forcing nature? Are you changing nature, or are you with nature?
I'm being myself.
Listen to what he's saying.
Yeah, it's about the farmers though.
Please don't touch me.
Yeah, it's about
Don't touch me. I'm good. I ain't doing it.
It's about the farmers. So so the farmers basically have the ability, and most of us haven't been buying direct from farms. We've been buying from supermarkets who are supposed to get direct from farms.
You're telling us the truth. It's fake.
Oh, you're saying they're telling us the truth and it's fake? Okay, yeah. So if
our
you're
products.
willing to accept it as fake, then that's what our society is willing to accept.
It's real good.
They're willing to accept
One of our
GMO
products
food, and some people aren't willing
We
to
gotta show
accept
it
it.
back first.
Some people are sticking straight to nature without altering nature. Like some people will eat an apple that's from the grocery store. His grandfather won't eat an apple from the grocery store. His grandfather will only eat the apple if it's connected to the tree. So if he connects it,
and what's wrong with that though? It's always a problem with somebody. When it's connected to a tree, it's always a problem because you know what? It's homegrown. So once it's homegrown, it's a problem. Why?
that's because our system that made us think that it was a problem, because it's broken. The system broken. It's broken. Yeah, if the system was working,
Stop. No, he's talking. Let him talk. That's what I'm saying. Let him talk. Thank you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
If the system was working the way that it's supposed to work.
What is the system?
Well, we
What
going.
is the system?
We going
The
deep
system's
in.
not what the system is.
We going deep into another topic.
Let's talk about that Wakanda bar though.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the Wakanda bar.
Yeah. So anyway.
We moving on. Thank you, bro. I let you talk.
Good.
Thank you. I appreciate you. Please. All right. So this is one of the things you.
Okay,
said,
wait. So someone in the live chat, sorry guys, because I'm like trying to, do everything. So, John Doe goes, for your lifestyle change, you think the environment take into play? Like, could I make a change like you guys did in the NY area? And then someone goes, I have Wiz, you not making sense, but he says the importance of fasting. Like I guess.
What's the importance of fasting?
Yeah, pretty much.
Well, it's just like your car. If you drove it non-stop, you drove it from maybe the US to Europe, just driving it, you do not take breaks or whatever, the car is going to break down. Same thing, the human body is consciousness. You need to take a break. If you see even a lot of animals, when they're sick, they go through a fast. When animals are sick, this is what they do. They normally eat grass, then they throw up, they lay there, they stop eating, they stop barking or whatever, they close your eyes. The reason why they're doing that is to preserve energy or whatever. The reason of stop eating, they're going through a fast is very important, because once you eat, the digestion takes all the power that is needed to heal the body. To eat while you're sick is committing suicide. You never see an animal in nature that is really sick eating, because they know. And that's why a lot of us, when we're sick, we have no appetite, because our body being consciousness, it shuts down.
I was just about to say that.
Yeah.
You don't want to eat anything when you're sick. If you try to eat something, you wind up throwing it up.
Because the body needs that energy to heal.
You start rejecting everything. So yeah, you just pass me this thing. I was ready to just munch on it regardless, right? And, a Wonka bar, right? Wakanda. Oh, and I read it right in my mind.
Yeah, but you got it.
Okay. Wakanda bar.
Wakanda bar.
Look at that right there. Yeah.
Nice
Okay, you got the pretty fingernails. Go ahead.
Bar is a energy bar. It's very delicious. I tried it today.
Delicious.
Okay. And what exactly is in the Wakanda?
It tastes like a Reese's bar, but as a
Ooh.
Like a Reese's bar.
It tastes like a Reese's bar?
Yeah, like a protein version of a Reese's.
Okay.
Oh, protein version of a Reese's.
Okay.
Check it out.
Okay, so I'm kind of ready to start it.
Hello. You splitting this with me?
Yeah, we want to try it. We're gonna try it right now. Oh, you have different flavors?
Oh.
Are they all the same flavor or? Okay. Wait.
Okay, wait. There's different
He want this
flavors?
one back.
Oh.
Okay. These are the same. Okay. Okay.
All
Okay. Yeah, I'll feel you. All right. Yeah.
Let's do this.
Check it out.
So this is like. This is
So
like.
now you know what? Of lately, I've been eating
look at the
vegan
color.
stuff.
Ooh.
Right. So now,
Check out the color.
there was like vegan meatballs. They were kind of good. I know y'all going crazy. Pause.
Yeah.
And then it was
Take a piece.
Take a bite of that. See how you
Ooh,
like it.
look
I
at
had
that inside.
vegan chicken fingers.
You want a piece?
They were kind of all right. All right, there you go. I'm gonna try
You
it.
want a piece?
Oh,
Okay.
like a little brownie.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I made that.
Really?
Piece?
Okay. Oh, here go the peanut butter. There it is. All right. Okay. All right. Yeah.
That's one of our products. We also have on seasoning.
Oh, we dropping it on the floor, Morpheus. Sorry, baby.
Oh, I'm not fronting, y'all. It's good.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm a.
Yeah, look. See, it's here. Okay.
It's online.
So you can go to www.grandpasecret.com. You can try that.
Guys, it tastes like straight peanut butter.
Okay.
And this is vegan, like.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Okay.
It's just for like the benefit for protein that you're saying.
Oh my god.
He's
Wiz, this is everything.
Dr.
right
Kang,
now.
gentleman had a question. He was asking
No, girl. This is mine. Mom.
It's just good for just protein and all that.
Yeah.
Or
like workout meal replacement. If you're just hungry, you go to
I know the product is. I just don't. You know. It's like,
Well, why are you gotta make a mess with it?
So it's basically what we're walking on next. An energy drink that's coming out.
Okay.
So one of the things that I noticed working with Dr. Kang, right, is that like he usually leaves no stone unturned. You know what I'm saying? He's gonna go through the information. He's gonna try it. He's gonna test it before he puts a product out. He's gonna make sure it's 100%.
Yes,
So
as
when
he
I
should.
so when I ate the bar, I had a high expectation for the bar because I know what he produces, right? So when I ate the bar, he didn't tell me anything. He just kind of slid it to me. Here, try that, right? And when I ate the bar, it just like, I've been eating these types of bars from other places. They never taste good.
They're actually
you ain't lying.
They're like hard.
They kind of give you that, and they give you that bad.
Like cardboard.
It's like a bad aftertaste.
And you're like, what is this? Like,
They give you
this is
that
supposed to give
bad
me energy, and
aftertaste,
this, you know.
Okay,
but
so,
this is fantastic.
So when I tasted the bar, I had an expectation that it would better not be like those other bars. You know what I'm saying? So when I tasted the bar, I was definitely like, yo, this brother definitely, like, he hasn't disappointed me yet. So if you guys tried the Breath of Life, if you know what that feels like, the herbs feel like that on the inside.
Gotcha.
They work like that. And I'm sure the bar probably feels like that on the energy level. I'm up.
I mean, the flavor hits you like, okay. Because you know what, like you said, when you think about that kind of particular bar, you're like, all right, this is what I'm about to get into.
Everybody
you know
in the live chat, like he said, Wismo, my fault to cut you off, but like, hit that like button, okay, and subscribe.
I'm not even going to sit here and lie to you.
But this is really good. Yes.
www.grandpasecret.com. This tastes good. This feels good. But also, one of the things about Dr. Kang as a healer, like he's an alchemist. So like one of the things that he does is when he cooks like a scientist who's thinking about healing the body. When he's making the bar, he's looking for things that'll heal the body, and he's putting them in the bar. So he literally knows what the body needs and will provide those things in whatever he's servicing. And so those are the things that we're trying to do is make sure people have healthy options, a lot of different. Yeah, and he has a seasoning out that you can add to your seasoning. And the seasoning that he makes actually turns your food into healing food now. So you put that in there. He makes his own alkaline water. He distributes to a ton of different stores. So he's an inventor. He has over 10 books. He's written over 10 books. He's literally one of those guys who will go home and while you're sleeping, he's up.
He's working.
He's working, baby.
I'm truly impressed.
Yes, let's give him a round of applause, please. Everybody in here.
You are truly someone, from hearing you, you are someone who is making a difference in the world. You know what I'm saying? By what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? You're spreading your knowledge out to people, and
that's amazing.
You know what I'm saying? That's just an amazing thing.
You're not selfish. You want to spread.
And you understand. What is this you showing us there now?
What's that?
So right here.
Okay.
This right here is called an organite. This is one of his other inventions. Okay, so you guys that are here in this room, this is important for you guys. All of us are working around all of this electromagnetic equipment. We're all working around television sets. We got cell phones in our pocket. Those things are there's frequencies passing through those things, and it's going through our body. This particular thing will actually help resist some of those rays. It'll help protect you against some of those things. It will help balance all the energies that are around you. And so one of the things that it does is it will reflect a lot of the energy that's coming at you, electric energy.
Electric frequency.
We did a lot of. Hold on, please. It's not that type of show this week.
And so one of the things that he created this when he shared it with me was to protect us from like the higher frequencies of the cell phone tower, 4G, 5G. You notice the cell phones, the cameras, they're all going up in technology. They're using higher frequencies. We got to protect ourselves. This is one way you can check out www.grandpasecret.com. We do have those available. We have all of these other products available. The Wakanda bars available. We're going to share some more information, and we're going to definitely make sure we help a lot.
Let's talk about the psychotropic.
Oh, psychotropic.
Yes.
What? No, let's get it. I saw those things. I saw those over there.
I'm gonna make a reference.
Limitless, yes.
Limitless.
This is Limitless.
This is Limitless.
Anyone watch the movie Limitless?
Yes, that's one of my one of the good movies.
form, the herbal form.
Okay.
Not the stuff made in the lab.
Okay.
My favorite movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is limitless.
So if you want to feel what that feels like,
that is it.
and I'll tell you my experience. I took psychotropic for about a month now, a little over a month, and one thing that I noticed is that I've been sharper, I've been more alert, I've been able to focus more, I've been able to get a lot more done, I've been able to remember certain things that are, don't come as easily, you know what I'm saying? But also, like, one of the things that I've noticed is that, like, when everyone else around me begins crashing at 9, 10 o'clock at night, they go to sleep, and I still can go. I can go read a book.
So this is like getting Cobra on crack.
Yeah. He said no crack.
This is 100%
like now,
natural
bro.
herb.
Got you.
This is what the universe and our God done put in the earth, designed for us to heal ourselves. This is one of the ways that He's figured out a way to use it.
For example, this is what psychotropic will do.
Okay, this is our customer here at Water Tree Cave. She's been taking a product that we sell
You see right there.
from Grandpa's Secret called Psychotropic, and for the last 30 days. So she's gonna basically let us know how psychotropics really been helping her. My name is Carol Peters. I'm very excited about this psychotherapy. I've been taking it for a month. I had found myself groping for words when I was speaking, and that was not normal for me. So I thought I'd better do something or take something to enhance my memory. I got this product just about 30 days ago, and in all honesty, within 2 days, I could feel a difference in my memory recollection. And after 2 days, I am truly excited with the results. I would recommend anybody who find themselves groping for a word, a simple word that you know is in the recess of your mind. Try this out. It is an excellent product.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
So like when I take a lot of that, people ask me like, everyone has 24 hours. Have you been able to create all these formulas, write all this book, have all these inventions or whatever? Because they're different levels. If you look at even a lot of the guys, the 1%, a lot of the guys at Silicon Valley, these are young kids, they're building Fortune 500 companies. They're 24, 30-something-year-old, they're developing inventions and building all these different devices, creating billion-dollar company in less than no time. But if you look at one common thing, everyone knows that the game is not as of how hard work you can work. The game is here. It's mine.
Yeah.
Or whatever. So what psychotropic does is called like time bending. Where you're able to, what someone can do in 1 year, what you can do in 1 year, I can do it in 3 months. Because I can go tonight, take a few or whatever, and I can write a book, half a book by morning. And then the next day I can write the rest of the book. But guess what? Someone might be like, 24 hours, I can't, I don't have time. But what it allows you to is to be able to call, is a concept called bending reality. Anyone that is into like, mind hacking. I know sometimes, a lot of us, we've been suppressed so much or whatever, but if you want to go to the next level of the knowledge, it's out there. The people that are doing it, the people that are building billion-dollar companies, even when we say, there's a depression, the people that are writing books, the people that are creating all kinds of inventions. All I tell people is I just look at the problems in the world and try to fix it. I'm working right now on a formula, the first natural male birth control or whatever that I'm working on in the lab.
That's
so
amazing.
I try to look for problems and I try to fix it. And that would be like 2,135 formula, when I get this natural birth control out. And it's going to be something, it's going to be one of my biggest, because now men will be able to have, the opportunity to decide if they want to get pregnant or not.
Please chill out.
Yeah, they could decide whether they want to have babies and give them a little more power in that decision making.
Yeah.
That's excellent.
That's amazing.
Yeah, we
that's
have a lot of things. I even have another book that I'm working on or whatever, almost done with it, and it's because of the problem I've seen that is happening, especially in the black communities. Or before you kick him out and before you kick her out, I'm just gonna give you a little bit of a summary. It simply means, as a people, we've been so disconnected from our culture, and we're suffering. Our kids that get 18 will be like, hey, go out. So we're suffering. I've gone there, I've seen a lot of adult daycare. If you go there, you're going to see our people. It is an abomination and a taboo for kids to put their parents in daycare. But the only reason why a kid will put you in the daycare is because you did not lay a proper foundation. And so this book is called Before You Kick Him Out. It lays down some certain foundation. The kids, like, okay, Dad, I don't want to go to school. I want to drop out. Okay, once he drop out, the day you want to kick him out, whether it's a mother or a father, you must sit him down and have this conversation. Like, okay, son, you don't want to go to school, you dropped out or whatever. How are you going to take care of yourself?
How are you going to progress? Yeah.
And,
what do you want to do with yourself?
You people, you make sure you write, you talk. Like, okay, son, these are the things I want you to do. Since you're scared, your attention span is very, very short. School is not for everyone.
No, it's not.
But there are
It's
things
not.
out there, the careers or whatever, that I call them traits, that you can have your kids together.
Still self-educate.
Yeah, you can have them. Like, okay, son, if it's a boy, like, okay, go get a truck driving license. Most truck drivers make more money than even college. It doesn't require more than even just 3 weeks. 3 weeks of school. These are the things. You're like, okay, I want you to look, maybe get your insurance license, maybe get, real estate, insurance adjuster, home inspection, all these careers or whatever. In my book, I'm listing over 200 and something careers that one can have their kids. Let them have at least 5 of these careers behind their pockets. The beautiful thing about these careers is that no one of them do they have to sit in school for up to a month. They can do that. Like, okay, before you get out of this house, this is what we're going to do. We're going to make sure that you have all these certifications on their pocket. My wife and I, for the past maybe 10, 20 years, we're on the street in Texas every single weekend feeding the homeless. And most of them, they look like me and you. And so when I see this problem, like, no one is talking about this. And a lot of it, you're going to hear from single, parent, household. And the reason I'm writing this book is so parents can be able to sit down almost like a guide. Before you kick your son out, like, hey, sit right there, I sit right here. Let's go through this book. Step 1, we must do this. Step 2, we must do this. You must get all these things before you ever kick your kids out. Because when you put them out in the world, guess what?
It's like you throwing them to the
parenting has changed a lot now.
It has.
And
I'm not a parent,
with
but
disciplining and trying to explain things to your kids and the way that people felt as though you should discipline your kids and the way that you can't put your hands on your kids even if you wanted to now these days. You know what I'm saying? Like,
you got to be like, I can't hit my kid.
It has to be, You have to like tell me what did we do wrong here.
Well, listen, we have raised 2 successful children, and because we've been like an example, a lot of parents they look up to us and they're like, how were you able to raise these kids in America without? And this is where the common denominator is very, very vital. It starts with food. It starts with food. Food and water, the only extended thing. If you do not feed your kids right, I can show people what our kids eat. At home, we're mostly just raw vegan. Our kids from birth or whatever, very few of them, they've even had cooked food. They mostly ate raw their whole life. Yes, man. My daughter at 3 years old, she was competing with 5 to 8-year-old. She won national competitions or whatever. Parents sometimes are like, oh my God, this is amazing. Why to lie on her birth certificate so she can partake in an international?
Wow.
It's just because we wanted to show a lot of parents.
What it
because
really
a lot of
is.
people, also people think parenting is hard. It's not. It's that we think our kids, they're friends. They're not your friends.
Like, I don't even know nothing. They're not into social media or TV, right?
Beautiful. Our kids, guess what? We do not
I don't even know you. I know that, right?
We do not own a TV.
There it is.
Our kids have never had a toy a day in their life.
Okay.
We give them sticks, we give them wire, we give them paper, they create their own toy. We do every single thing or whatever. We cook every single meal from scratch, everything. Our daughter, even at 3 years old or whatever, she knew how to go and blend her own stuff if she wanted a smoothie to make it. I don't do nothing for them. We're at home or whatever, we scatter the house and they clean it up. So my home or whatever, if my son said, Daddy, I need $2, he has to walk 4 hours. Our daughter or whatever, we just started, she just got a cell phone or whatever. She's 12, she's doing very well. So her cell phone bill is $15. So she has to work 15 hours for a cell phone. And our home is like out there in the world. And the very important thing is called conscious parenting.
Okay.
You can buy everything in the world. It comes with a manual. The one thing that doesn't come with manual is children. There are other cultures that have figured out how to be able to raise kids properly. It's not rocket science with the use of the internet. Or you just have to Google. You're going to see cultures like a lot of Japanese and other cultures that have
figure out small techniques that you can also implement, you know, in your
kids.
home. But once you catch them, they say train up a child in the way they should grow. So when they're adults, they will not depart from those ways or whatever. And kids or whatever, I took one of my son to a birthday party. I'm like, hey, he's vegan, blah 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 blah. And the lady was giving candy. My son like, oh no, we don't eat that. And the lady could not believe it. She'd be like, this is child abuse. My son stood up.
Yeah.
My son stood up. I'm like, what are you saying? Look at your son running out there like a demon. You don't see how well behaved I am? Don't talk to my father like that. And she could not believe it. She could not believe it. But I tell parents, we have lost the privilege to have kids where we're so proud. That's why we're able to travel, because everyone is fighting to keep our kids. We travel all over. He never seen our kids. Because this past summer, they were actually with their principal. Their principal, please, can I keep them? Everyone fights.
Teachers, they cry.
Their teachers cry, like, please, can we keep them? So they're with everyone.
Yeah.
They teach other kids.
That's amazing.
But it is not rocket science.
That's excellent.
It's not rocket science. You must, when the kids are born, while they're young, you as a parent, you must lead by example. If you say cleanliness is godliness, you have to be clean. Because I see it now. Parents are, even in the book, you know, conscious parenting or whatever, parents are putting their kids out there. They don't know how to cook. They don't know how to clean. I see a lot of female.
They don't know how to
my
wash
culture,
their ass.
They don't even know how to clean up themselves. They
Do
don't
their
know how to do a lot of
laundry.
things. One thing we must all do, even as a
But they know how to twerk and all that,
that's
right?
beautiful, because they think all these external things is what matters or whatever. It's not. They don't know how to take care of themselves. So even if they're working at McDonald's making $10, they're eating out every single day because they don't know how to cook. They don't know that our home, we are well to do, right? But we spend $40 to $60 a month on food. We have shown him.
$40 to $60 a
He said
month.
40
with two children.
With two children.
It's knowing how to cook. What is food to nourish the body? I know sometimes our people, this is new. It's like, okay, these people must live in the jungle. No, it's knowing how to. A lot of people argued. I went on a radio station. People were like, oh, it's a lie, it's a lie. I invited everyone, 20 people, to come to a hotel, and I cooked for them with $3. We fed how many people? You were there. We're in Florida. We're in Florida, in Orlando. We're in Orlando, and I fed over maybe like 20 to 30 people with $3. Everyone ate 3 times. It's knowing what kinds of food and how to, and you know, the next book is coming out to be able to go.
Oh, doctor, you need to put me on.
The food is not one of those food where even people that are
like,
even people that are picky, like, oh, I don't like this. You eat it because it tastes so well. Very healthy, but very good. Okay. Everything about our people.
I need to tell my mother about this.
It's knowledge.
Yeah, we had to clean
like,
that up.
what?
We had to clean that up one
I
time.
need his
We said that
information.
online one time,
We said that and people attacked
me. Crazy. They were like,
went
he's
crazy.
so poor. He messing up his kids. He's starving his kids. And then we had to go back.
Oh no! Y'all started the whole thing.
They don't need to eat.
So we had to let them know because
hey, when I tell them to eat,
people started inboxing me saying like, "What do you mean? You telling me you're a doctor and he got products and he can't only afford
feed his
$40
kids
to eat food or whatever?" And I'm like, "No, listen. The doctor can afford anything he wants. If he wants to go buy a Lamborghini, he will. If he wants to go buy another house, he will. Whatever he wants, he can get. He knows that he can put his mind and get whatever. So that wasn't his thought when he said it, and I knew where he was. So we went back and cleaned it up and explained to people like, no, you guys have just been indoctrinated. And one of the questions he asked the group of people that was with us is, how many animals are going to the grocery store to buy food tomorrow?
How many dogs have you seen them with a basket, a cart going to the grocery store?
Not one.
So why would they be blessed and we got to go work for?
That's right. Your birds neither sow nor plant. Your animal neither sow nor plant. So the biggest question is,
why do you need it, right?
People do not know. Me and my wife, sometimes we go to, we visit friends, and sometimes they have fruit growing in their backyard, and they say, oh, you don't eat that. Everything we have to eat has to come from the store. This is how people be programmed. Sometimes we even go to like bayous or whatever and pick berries, and people are like, oh, why are you eating that? Do you know a lot of the herbs, a lot of the weed we consider weed or whatever, sometimes they're edible. My grandfather says every single one of us here have blood pressure. The weed or the grass that will grow around this area will be for blood pressure. This is the mercy of God. It's just we've not been indoctrinated. We've not been taught. So I grew up knowing this kind of knowledge. I remember one of the scientists or whatever was born into the jungles, into the mountains with my grandfather. They're like, oh, Mr. Simon, this mushroom, how do we know if we did not know? If we didn't have no sixth sense like you, how did the ancient know if it's poisonous and it isn't poisonous? My grandfather said, good question. He's like, what we'll do is we'll take a bunch of like soldier ant. We'll put them in a bag, we'll bring them to the mushroom, we'll leave them there. You know, if you put ant on anything, they'll either eat it or not eat it, depending on what it is. And so when we come back, if they've taken bite, we'll look, no one of them is dead, they eat it.
That's a great technique, though.
It is common sense.
That's
I
crazy.
call this common sense
see that
because
technique? That's crazy.
every single animal is doing it. When the sky becomes dirty, God allows it to rain because it's the mercy of God. Is that we become so disconnected, you know, in city, and people tell you, oh, I'm educated, I have a master's degree, and you can see the foolishness they do. They serve, you know, like killing ourselves. What we're doing now is suicide. They've given us all the poison. Hey, take it. They don't have to put us in gas chambers. They don't have to even put us in jail. They've given us all the poison or whatever. Like, hey, you do it your own self. And we're gladly doing it without question.
So Wismore goes, people say I need to eat beef for iron. Well, no, but he's being funny. He goes, well, where does the cow get its iron?
Beautiful.
So,
Beautiful.
yeah, he's one that he's up on it. So shout out to you, Wiz. Thank you for watching, hon.
It's Wiz More.
Wiz More, right? You feel me? Wiz More. Yes.
Beautiful. That's a smart kid.
Yes, he is. He's a smart man.
Beautiful.
Let me tell
so
you.
a lot of us would be like, oh, I'm trying to get a protein from the animal. We're getting, where is that cow getting its protein? Right? It's getting it from the, from vegetation. So why would we want to go through the cow when we can just go straight to vegetation? Yeah.
No second hand.
No second hand.
Yes, I like that.
Yeah, and so when you begin to understand this thing, you start healing your body or whatever, or start transcending, to a total level of consciousness. You want to open your third eye, you want to get to, these different higher realms or whatever. Food and water, these things are very crucial. I know our environment also affects us, but we have control over the food we eat and the water we drink. Sometimes might be a little bit expensive or whatever, but
I was gonna ask you about what do you feel about the essentials.
Yeah, I was gonna ask
you.
Like, what you think about like the alkaline water, Poland Spring,
Every animal in nature drinks alkaline water. I'm a water scientist also. I make my own alkaline water. Actually, in Texas, a lot of stores, they sell my water.
Right.
I'm on water manufacturing. So when it rains, you catch it in the sky, you taste the pH, it's acidic. When it touches the ground or whatever, the earth releases minerals. Because the earth is alive or whatever.
Yeah.
It's organic, carbon based or whatever. It releases the mineral in the water. So every animal in nature drinks water that's touching the earth. There are three ways to make alkaline water. One electricity, one chemical, and then the other one is natural. I use a process called ceramic convention, where I mimic nature. I take the water, whatever, put it in stones and beads and natural minerals. So the bead releases the mineral in the water, so it turns it alkaline. So when water touches the earth, it becomes alkaline. If you taste the water in springs or whatever, they're alkaline in nature. Every animal, the trees, they drink water that's touching the earth. They're not drinking water that they're catching.
Right.
So a lot of alkaline water is good, but a lot of these companies or whatever, they're making it with electricity. So we have the machines like the Kangen. We also have other ones that are using even carbonation, baking soda and all those other things. But the $1 million question is, which one will you prefer? Do you want to drink water that's made with electricity, or you want to drink water that's made with chemical, or you want to drink water that's made or natural? How nature makes it. And so a lot of people, I was speaking at a seminar, and actually here in New York, maybe 8 years ago. And at the Hilton, I believe, I told a lady, stand up, you stand up, you stand up, you stand up. I'm like, you all drink Kangen water. They looked at each other, they were like, oh my God, how did he know? I said, yeah, because I could tell through their skin. Because what happens to a lot of people is that when they drink, I know I should not be saying, I'm not trying to debunk any company or whatever. I'm a scientist. I like to test things, I understand the theory of things. Is that when people drink water that is made with electricity, their skin becomes very, very dry or whatever, because the water is shocked or whatever, and then it splits, and then the microcluster, the water that side becomes alkaline. So their skin become dry, and then also sometimes they find themselves, they touch things, they constantly get shocked, like heavy shock. And a lot of people who've been drinking that water, they've reported that or whatever, and then a lot of them sometimes they're having like a lot of heart palpitation in the long run, you know, after drinking electric water. When it's made with electricity, you have to understand. Yeah. It's through a process called electrolysis. So what happens is the water goes through a titanium plate or whatever. This titanium plate has all these small holes. It splits the water into small particles so it can go into your cells, which is a good process or whatever, which is one of the characteristics that alkaline water should be done. But the process in which it does that is going through like very high voltage, which is shocking the water, and then it splits the molecules. And so that water carries that electric. And so you drink the water after a period of time or whatever, you find yourself like, oh my God, I'm having heart palpitation. Because that's what electricity, when they shock you, most of the time, you feel it in your heart. It accumulates. And the fact that a lot of us, we don't go to like parks, take off our shoes, hug trees, walk barefooted or whatever, that electricity sometimes accumulates. That's why you see people sometimes, they touch something, it shocks them. Their car door, you see people who are literally using their clothes because they get shocked so many times because you know, they accumulate. And that is one thing that this thing also does, you know, the EMF blocker, is that it neutralizes, it turns all the electricity that comes through your body into nothingness.
Wow, that's excellent, man. I'm glad
thank you so
you
much.
got to do this thing. Yeah, once again, give us the site.
It is www.grandpasecret.com. Okay, you can find everything there.
Yeah, I definitely want to
Yeah, we're gonna talk with y'all. What we're gonna do is we're gonna help the whole Harlem Variety Show become healthier. We're gonna help all of you guys. We're gonna make sure y'all got all of the information. We're gonna make sure that, you know, my brother Cal invited me to this show, and I definitely wanted to shout him out, show him some love. I grew up with this kid. We got a lot of our family members and friends that we grew up with who've lost their lives to health problems. You know what I'm saying? Some to violence, some to, you know, other unforeseen circumstances. So I just wanted to shout out a couple of those people, our boy Kenny, my man D-Ron Ross, you know, a couple of the people from our neighborhood. We recently lost Chuck, you know, couple people we lost. I just wanted to give a moment to shout y'all out, man. Miss y'all brothers.
Yes.
And everybody living, holla at us. GrandpaSecret.com.
Thank you so much.
Great show. I'm glad one of the things that I told you that we try to do is
one more thing. Sorry. Yeah, we have a list of events that are popping up over this weekend.
Okay, someone has a question. I'm sorry.
Come with the question. Yep.
Ishmael Carvalho, I have a question. Is New York City water the cleanest in the country?
Hell no.
No. He said hell no. You heard him?
Listen, I've been here, and trust me, I don't know how the people live in. Someone asked me, they called me on the radio, and they're like, what do you think about New York? You know, I'm like, a jungle. I don't know, man. A concrete jungle. I say a concrete jungle with a lot of poison, toxic. Too much. I don't know how the people do it, but
you people are strong. Like a microwave all day.
Yeah, it's very.
John Doe was asking that, like, you don't know if you can make this change here. Like, it's crazy.
Yeah, it's very weird when you walk around with a brother like Dr.Kang, because he can sense and feel people's energy, and he can see what's happening to them. So within like an hour of being in New York, he almost like was feeling bad, because he was like, man, why are these people suffering like this? Like,
everyone in New York has. What I noticed, a lot of mineral deficiency. All the women or whatever have an iron deficiency. Everyone has a vitamin D3 deficiency. Everyone. So that's why you're going to see mood swings or whatever, confusion, one moment happy, one moment sad. Everyone is going through that.
My lady friend, she just recently found out that she had diabetes and never knew it. Now, she's someone that eats kind of healthy, and she kind of stays away from like sugar and salt and trying to. So I think it's kind of hereditary.
She should call me.
It's not hereditary.
No, it's not.
Like,
that's
not. I was gonna go.
Wondering. Yes.
None of those diseases.
That's one of the things that she says. So
it's
because her grandmother or someone, and then her
I think it's like
mothers. Yeah. Well, basically, a lot of people had that in her life, and. It got to a point where she was in ICU, where her blood sugar was like almost like over 600.
I don't know if we can post that.
So
somehow.
yeah,
we can send it to
somebody.
somebody.
Like 2 days. So
I would love to help her. Tell her to call me.
Definitely.
I'm in town. If we can give them my schedule, I'm on tour.
Yeah, we're on a tour. We got a schedule. She's trying to show the schedule tour to.
If you can post it also. So
Cal, you got it.
Yeah,
Can you send it to whoever can post it?
My IG, like I can.
Okay.
Post it. You guys have Instagram, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so here, if you want to go ahead and also give them your IG or Facebook or
Dr.Kang
besides the website.
At Grandpa Secret. Yeah. The IG is at Grandpa Secret. And you can also look Dr. Kang up. His personal page is Dr. Kang Health. It's Dr.Kang Health. So you'll find both of them. Yeah.
But they should watch the videos.
Yeah, yeah.
And my Instagram is Style Mike T. I'm a stylist and a creator. I work with a lot of different celebrities and a lot of athletes. I am now also helping a lot of celebrities and athletes with their health. We've helped several prominent members of our community. We try, I'm trying to keep it clean here without letting you know I'm still working with Biggie, bringing them back to life. You know what I'm saying? We've worked with a lot of different people, but add me on IG, Style Mike T, Grandpa Secret, www.grandpasecret.com. You can add us all on the different social media platforms. Check out some of our work. We're doing great things out here. We're trying to help improve our community. I've literally brought Dr. Kang to Harlem because I felt like we can help Harlem. Now, I know the Harlem that I know needs help, all right? Now, it's really up to the Harlem that I know to actually go and help somebody, because most people aren't going to be able to get this information the way that they should get it, because they can't really get it with all of the deficiencies in their brain. So if you got it, and you got it, then you go help somebody with it. Because when I got it, it was immediate. I'm about to help my moms. I'm about to get my grandmother up out of her situation. I'm about to help auntie with that bad leg. I'm about to help auntie with the bad digestion she dealing with. I'm about to help my uncle struggling with his, whatever ailments they got. You know what I'm saying? So just help somebody. It's easy. Like all of this stuff that we're doing, like we doing a lot of the hard work. My people be like, yo, can I get a discount? That's what they say to me. Yo, can I get a discount? I'm like, listen, I spent thousands of dollars following the man, and you want me to bring it to your town, knock on your door, bring it in your house, and offer you a discount? Like the prices aren't even expensive. So it's like the conditioning. So the conditioning, we can talk prices also. The conditioning for our people, it has to do with a lot of those issues, the food and the keeping us thinking that we're not valuable enough to each other, and we are more than valuable enough to each other. So price-wise, this is the Miraculous 5. The Miraculous 5 costs $55 a bottle. You look online, it's $55 a bottle. It's $275 for the Miraculous 5 system. You pay $275, and what happens? You start feeling better within 24 hours. It goes to your cells. It goes to different areas in your body. Wherever you have discrepancies in your body, it will go to those areas. It will nourish those areas. It will detox those areas, and it will go through also with the superfood that gives it the nourishment that it needs. The cells stop starving. They stop craving. They stop asking for stuff, and then they become happy, and they become, ready to fulfill their purpose. And so that's part of how we heal people with
that's
using the Miraculous 5.
That's the Instagram page, just so y'all can see.
Okay.
Y'all can see
Yes, you have a question?
It's Grandpa Secret. You wanna?
Yeah, Grandpa Secret. Instagram on Instagram. You had a question, brother?
Yeah, I had a question. I don't mean to go back to the smoking thing, but it's is it good to do that and take these products at the same time, or is it like
to do what? To do what in the products?
This,
whatever you're doing, these products are gonna help you. If you got a bad diet, we still want you to take our products.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
You know what I'm saying? Like if you're making bad decisions, we know that your decision making a lot has to do with the health, what you eating. So it
will help you with your weight problem.
Yeah, we can fix your. We
have all the testimonies.
Yeah.
Grandpa will it help with his weight problem?
Tell him whatever they're about to say that they have a problem with. He can help.
It can help you. Anything.
He has over
disorders, like it can help you. It's
2,000. He has more than 2,000
herbal formulas
Please,
for
I want to
every
stretch.
single thing. So
I want everyone to go to our YouTube page and watch the videos for themselves.
Yeah.
Because it'll answer all the questions. They're going to see a lot of people who have their conditions. And, Their questions will be answered.
On YouTube,
Grandpa Secret
Testimonial.
Testimonials.
Channel, Grandpa Secret Testimony. Go there now.
Testimonials.
Just search it, then they'll find the
and
channel.
just, you know,
Grandpa
look
Secret.
it up and look at some videos so you guys can see for yourself that this, you know, these products really work. Like he's working miracles out here. Like
that's why they call it the Miracle 5. These 5, they take care of 95% of all ailments, especially in our community that we deal with. So he has over 2,000 something, you know, herbal formulas, but he condensed a lot of it in these.
Yeah.
So if y'all ever have any problem, there it is. That's your easy button.
Yeah, and I'll show you how he got to the easy button and how I explain it to people.
Yeah.
He had 2,000 formulas for every human condition. Everything he saw in his research, traveling the world, studying all of these different diseases and ailments. He noticed that every time he was solving those ailments, he was figuring out the formulas, and a lot of times the same herbs would use this to fix the diseases. And so he was able to calculate and figure out a way to fix almost every one of those diseases by using a specific number of herbs, which is what you have here. A specific type, specific number, and he understands the human body like somebody that I've never seen before. I went to doctor's appointments in Harlem my whole life. Cal seen me pushing my grandmother's wheelchair from the time I was 13 years old, all around Harlem, to every hospital, almost every clinic, foot doctors. I know almost every doctor in every clinic. And what I noticed is that when I left the doctor with my grandmother, it'd be 3 months before we got back to that doctor before he would do something again. This is a brother who's already knows what you need and is treating you daily, sending it right into your system to make sure that you get your healing daily in order to get to that.
You don't need to wait 3 months to see him.
No, you can call us up. You can start being healed today. Your auntie that got the diabetes, we can fix that. We can start fixing that today. You start feeling better within 24 hours. After a month, a lot of people's problems are totally fixed. And then some people just come back for a maintenance package. A maintenance package would be 3 out of the 5, where you're just taking it and making sure your system continuously stays clean. But these things treat a lot of diseases too. A lot of diseases and a lot of ailments that a lot of people.
High blood pressure.
Yep.
Small.
Easy
It's not a
fix.
disease. It's a lifestyle. It's one's ability to not know how to discipline what they put in their mouth. Cancer is not a disease. It's one's ability to not know what they put in their mouth.
Like
you see, if you look at the elephant, you look at a lot of the animals that are eating. Every animal has a food for itself. It's because human beings, they're the only ones who've not figured out what they should be eating. There's a food for them, but they do not because of their inability to discipline this. That's why in ancient Africa, you were never a master unless you could discipline what you put in your mouth. Because you see, oh, I'm strong or whatever. And a man or a person can't discipline what they put in. They eat everything. And they'll be like, oh my God, you know. Then they'll take nice clothes. After they've eat garbage, they'll take nice clothes and put on this body. This is how we operate. You know, they'll put dead things in this body or whatever, and then they'll take nice clothes and cover it. So you look at someone like, oh, they look fine. But inside is rotting.
It's terrible.
It's rotting because they treat the inside like garbage, and then they take all these things to hide. The dirt, the filthy. They take perfume and then they put it or whatever.
So, Wismore says, do y'all have payment plans after initial purchase? Excuse me.
We can walk out something.
Tell them to call us.
Yeah. Tell her to call.
They got you.
Yeah.
Go on our website, call my assistant.
And call them up and they going with the hookup. Okay?
Tell him before anyone order. We don't want anyone's money until they watch the video.
Right.
We're not interested to sell anything. Even when doctors want to become our distributors, we tell them you will not become a distributor until you watch the testimony, take the formula.
Right. You need
because
to
we don't want people calling. Yes, you need to have the information and have the knowing. We don't have a lot of time. Yeah.
So
I just be, oh, I'm gonna do this. No,
so I did talk about price. I talked about it. I said $55 a bottle. Okay.
Yeah.
So this is what I'm gonna offer too. I want to help somebody from the Harlem Variety Show, and I want to help somebody, one of your viewers. I'm personally going to pay $50 towards somebody in this room, and I'm going to personally pay $50 to one of your viewers to start you guys getting off into your herbs and getting off into your healing. So we're going to work that out over the next 7 days. We're going to find out who from here we're going to help. And we're going to find out who from the Harlem Variety Show that's watching. And I'm going to put up some money, and we're going to put our money where our mouth is, and we're going to help you heal. We're going to help heal you, and then you're going to also go and help me heal someone else. So help us heal somebody.
Get this, man. Like I said, See, man, y'all dropping some knowledge on us
Right.
right now, for real,
Right,
man.
I'm actually texting me
I love this.
questions.
I love
I'm
this.
like,
I love this,
hit me
man.
up on the live chat. Like,
I'm kind of like, cause I want y'all time now. 'Cause
Right,
I gave y'all too much time. Y'all got
we
some knowledge
finna,
right
like,
now.
end
So
the show.
yeah.
So we can get our knowledge.
I know he got
on,
places to go
'cause
too.
He
So
got them jewels.
I need that 15. You know, a little 10. All right,
I'm
5.
going
Let me
first,
get like
okay?
2. Yeah, see, we'll be good. We'll be good. Want to thank y'all again for coming in.
Yes,
I
thank
really
you
appreciate y'all
so
coming
much
in.
again.
Yeah, man.
Come up to the Harlem Variety
I
Show.
really
Thank
appreciate
you.
that.
Tuning in.
Yeah.
I've been feeling the energy. I've been watching it from Orlando,
Isis,
Florida,
Dr.
Okay,
Kang, Mike T, thank you guys for
Okay,
coming. I
peace,
appreciate
definitely.
you. Yes, peace.
I
Thank
appreciate y'all coming. I really
Yes.
do. Like we say,
Again, let me show
knowledge is
y'all.
the key, man.
Yes.
You know, and information is power.
Okay.
We trying to get y'all a little power.
Right,
He dropping
so
some knowledge on y'all,
Everybody
man.
in the live chat, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share, and go to their YouTube channel also, which is Grandpa's Secret Testimonies. So check that out, okay?
This show was dedicated
And
to
yes,
y'all.
you know, share so it could go viral. And
I had a whole
people
bunch
could
of
get their
stuff.
knowledge on. Right, we ain't even gonna.
We don't need to know about that stuff right now.
This is more
Let's
important.
get this stuff.
Right.
Yeah, definitely, man.
We appreciate
I can't thank
you
y'all
guys.
enough,
Thank
man.
you so much again.
Yeah,
Thank you.
we
Yes.
gonna end off
they
like
dropped
that.
the bombs like a scientist. Yes, they did. Wismore. Here you go, honey.
We're going to end off on that. I want to thank them again for coming.
Yes.
Peace to everybody here, all the
Everybody
people who
in
had
here, we
questions.
appreciate
Wismore,
y'all.
I always appreciate you.
Yes, we appreciate you, bro. I miss
coming
you. I
in,
hope
telling
to
the
see you
thing.
tomorrow.
And you know what, Wiz? I'm going to tell on her because she was like, you sure he stuck to the variety show?
Shut up.
I was like, where's on there?
Quiet. Listen, all right? Wiz, you know what time it is. You know what I'm saying?
I said, I know Wiz on there.
You better be showing us the love. But
yeah.
check it out, guys. Tomorrow. Those of y'all that know us.
Oh, yeah.
The Dom House.
It's a Halloween
gonna be a
party.
Halloween party. Prime
Yeah,
night.
yeah.
You feel me? We're gonna have everything. You already know, 420 friendly,
Definitely,
edibles, everything, drinks, everything.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That's
Info's in my IG if you want more info on the, trying to get in the spot. So 'cause it's gonna be hot tomorrow.
Yeah.
And of course, a costume.
Oh, shout outs to HooterVille.
Yeah,
you know
shout
what
out
I'm
to
saying?
HooterVille.
Like he just sitting in the cut, just smiling like,
because
I
when
told
I'm not
y'all.
when I'm not
He
here,
gave me the look like,
no.
I told
but
y'all.
when I'm not here, he talking all this, right? But when
he on
in
his
the
flash
building,
right now,
he
like,
has nothing to say though,
y'all.
at all,
You know what
at
I'm
all.
saying?
So But again, thank you everybody in the live chat. Shout out to everybody. Wismore, Izzy, aka Papa Bear, it's my pops. Thank you for watching. Who else? Sister Kia, shout out to her. Also, check out her show every Thursday, House of Harlem,
Coco.
at 8:30.
Yeah, Coco Fuzz. Oh, and
I shout out to I said John Doe. Shout out to my cousin, my
I'm already
prima,
following
Sally. I miss you. I love you. And thank you for watching again. Oh, shout out to Kiki. Also, we appreciate y'all for watching. But so again, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share, and just we appreciate y'all for supporting us, watching us on a Friday. I could be doing something else.
We out here getting that knowledge.
Right. So thank you guys.
You could be anywhere else in the world, but you're here with us. You know
that's
what I'm
it. We out of here.
Yeah, we out of here.
Okay, we out of here. Good night, people.
Thank y'all, man.
Peace.
See, I was trying to set y'all up, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
But I didn't have it, you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, you late.